Hey, what's up everybody? Happy Monday, Stephen Bogorn here, Pro Physique. What I want to talk about today is how to get through the holidays and still be on track. So what's up everybody? One question that I've really been getting a lot is how do we stay on track during the holidays? And so obviously the holidays are a very stressful time, right? Relationships start, relationships end, there's family around, there's tons of expectations. And so there's always something going on in life apart from that. And then now we have that coupled on top of it. If you're in school, there's finals going on, you're having to study, you've got assignments due. And so how do we manage to stay on track while still being part of the holidays and being part of our family and being with the people we love and spending time with the people that are important to us, but not letting go of our fitness goals, right? That accountability. So I wanted to talk a bit today about how to do that, right? So a lot of my clients have been asking, and I wrote an article on it last year, but I figured it could use some revisiting. So I want to talk about that today. Now, all of you know, like if you're working with me, we have set macros for each day. So there are a couple things that are easy fixes that you can do to make a little bit more room in your day for that holiday meal. The first is train or do HIIT cardio. Anything that you can do that's going to either have muscle damage or any kind of excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, like all of that's going to help out to raise metabolic rate for that day. So like for my athletes, on days that they train, they eat more food. So that counts as HIIT cardio and any kind of weight training. So one thing that you can do to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room there, simply train. Or go out and do some sprints in the morning or later on at night. And that's an easy way to give yourself just that little bit of extra room to kind of help out and mediate those bigger meals. The other thing that you can do, and this one is probably not my preferred method, but it still allows you to be on track overall for the week, which is still a good thing. And that would be moving macros from day to day. So say you have 200 grams of carbs and 60 grams of fat a day and you have whatever your protein goal is, right? So most people aren't going to have issues with protein, so I don't harp too much on the idea of protein, right? Especially if we're in a caloric surplus, excess protein doesn't tend to be a huge issue. So we're more concerned with the carbs and the fats, given that they're more carb and fat-heavy foods, right? Sweet potato casserole, brown sugar, butter, marshmallows, and a lot of sweet potatoes. Stuffing, right? So a lot of people put butter in the turkeys to help them be juicier. So all these things really add up pretty quick. So what you can do is say that the couple days before your holiday meal, if you have room to do it, you can do, say, 10 grams of fat less a day, 25, 30 grams less carbs per day. And then use those, so kind of like bank those calories and put them into your Thanksgiving Day or your Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, whatever holiday meal it is that you're looking at doing. And so that way, overall, at least for the week, we're still on track, right? And that requires a little bit of planning ahead of time. So it's going to take some foresight, but that is definitely a way that you can stay on track for the overall week and still give yourself more leeway and room for those holiday meals that are going to be very calorie heavy. So the other thing that you can do is to make very wise decisions on your food choices during those days. Instead of going for the dark meat on the turkey, go for the light meat. Don't eat the skin. Instead of going for the sweet potato casseroles and the pies, maybe go more towards the vegetables, or the less dense options that are going to be available at wherever it is that you're eating. So these things are going to help you to fill up, put a little bit more volume in your belly, and then that way you're not as prone to overeating on things like the sweets and the pies and all of the other really fatty stuff and the cranberry sauce, all that stuff, that's going to be calorically dense. It's going to have a lot of calories in it. So paying attention to which parts of the table spread that you're eating can also be very helpful. That way you're still full, you're still satiated, you didn't put anybody off, right? None of your family feels weird because you didn't eat or because you weren't a part of the festivities, whatever the case may be. You were just different in what you were choosing to eat, right? So if anybody asks and eats things, you know, that's just kind of what I was in the mood for. That's what I was hungry for. That's the thing, you know? So there's some easy outs even day of that you can utilize to help minimize the amount of extra calories that you're going to get in. The other end of the spectrum is, hey, I overate, I didn't plan, oh shit, what do I do now? This one is probably obviously my least favorite to deal with. I do always kind of expect some of these to come up and to happen because it's the nature of the holidays, and the holiday really is more about family and loved ones and friends than it is about being on track with the macros. And in the long run, one simple day is not going to destroy all of your progress. Now, if for some reason you have a photo shoot or you're being very harsh or you just got out of a show, it's definitely more important at that point to be on track with this. But if you're reversing or you haven't been dieting in a while and you're in improvement season and you're just trying to get stronger and better, like I said, one day is not going to destroy you, right? It's not going to abrupt the whole process. But here's a way that we can still, again, get back on track for the week, even when we go over on that day. And so what we have to do, we have to estimate kind of how much we went over by. And that can be difficult in and of itself, but if we didn't track, if we didn't weigh anything out, which a lot of us won't be doing because it probably isn't the most acceptable thing for our families, they might not get it. Some of us are lucky and our families do get it and they understand and they're cool with it. But unfortunately, a lot of us, you know, they're not there yet. So what we have to do is estimate. It's the best that we can do. And sometimes it's okay to just have the best options, right? Sometimes there's not a lot of good ones. We have to pick the best ones. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to estimate how much we were over on our carbs and fats. Remember, I'm less worried about protein. And it's kind of hard to go that high over on protein. So we want to estimate how much we went over on our carbs and fats. We're then going to take that from the rest of the week. And if it is doable, like if it seems like a feasible thing, we can divide that by the days that are left in the week and go that far under for each day left in the week. Again, now we're on track for the week overall. So we have minimized whatever kind of overeating that we had. Now, the big part about that is it has to be feasible. If you can't see yourself actually sticking to those lowered macros for those 3 or 4 days or 2 days, however many days it might be, then you might have to just accept that we're going to be a little bit over this week, okay? We might chance some weight gain. That's okay. And we're just going to do the best with what we can. We're going to go with what seems like we can adhere to it and we can stick with it and we can be successful with it. Because it doesn't matter what you're asked to do if you can't do it. So first and foremost, it has to be a realistic change to make. If it's not realistic, there's no point even asking somebody to do it. So be very honest with yourself about that, about where you're at, and then make a decision based on that. Remember, the holidays are already stressful enough. There's already a lot going on. There's no reason to stress yourself out even more so with unrealistic goals to try and make up for something that, you know, a lot of people are having the same issues. So I don't want to tell you not to make up for it, right? We want to make a good effort. We want to really put ourselves out there and try to do our best to make up for that. But at the same point, mental health is important as well. And so that's something I want you to be cognizant and aware of is also. But most importantly, the biggest thing to having a great time and to being successful throughout your holidays is to enjoy the time with your family. Being around your friends and families and loved ones that maybe you don't get to see all the time, you know, maybe they're out of state, maybe you're traveling, like that is important. Life is about experiences and memories. So that is my #1 goal for all of my clients. That is my #1 goal for all of you out there today. Everybody who's watching this, spend time with your loved ones, enjoy it, make lasting impressions and memories that are going to be there for the rest of your life. Because that's what it's really all about. So be conscientious of what you're doing, sure. But if you know that bringing the food scale is going to be an issue, maybe don't bring this food scale. If you know that it's not going to be an issue, then, and that will make you more comfortable, go ahead and do it. But the number one is that's about memories. So, guys, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight and some ideas on how to moderate and manage the holidays and those big, very calorie-dense meals. More importantly, though, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy the time with your family, enjoy the time with your friends, and we'll be talking to you soon.